Hello and welcome to Adventures in a Morris. You join me in my Series 1 Morris 8 two-seater on a trip round Castle Acre, where I live. Before us we have the gatehouse of the Cluniac Priory. Let's go and have a look at it. So here we are in the Priory Field, which is where essentially there was a farm farmed by the Lay brothers to provide food for the monastery. You see the boundary wall there, which has recently been conserved. You'll see that more closely as we drive past it later. And there's the Parish Church of St James over there. Here's the Priory Church. Let's go on a bit further. Looking down from the high altar towards the west window and the twin towers, and then to the left is the chapter house, and then the daughter, the dormitory, and the infirmary. But what everybody wants to see is that building down the end there, the rear daughter or lavatorium. Now the water entered via this dike from the River Nar, and in that small arch it would go through there and wash away the monastic effluent. It's a double-decker, this one. I'll see if I can find an image of how it was thought to be. Quite entertaining, as the man sitting downstairs would have the upstairs occupants' doings falling on the roof of his cubicle, so he could diagnose whether his friend had diarrhea if it went splat, or was constipated if it sounded like bullets hitting the roof. And so the effluent be washed away down this channel, down there, to the fish ponds to feed the fish. So there's a rather good view of the monastic buildings. Most of that is the prior's residence. He had a lot of comfort compared with everybody else. There's a good view of the prior's lodging, which well into the 20th century was used as a farm labourer's cottage. And the other buildings here are the bakery, the brewery, barns, various such things. This is the Riverdale. And this is South Acre 4, which is not really suitable for motor vehicles. So we'll reverse out again now. We're travelling along Blind Lane. I'm not sure why it's called Blind Lane, because that would normally mean a cul-de-sac, which this isn't. See Cuckstool Lane there. Cuckstool being the ducking stool. The pond where the ducking used to take place is still there in somebody's garden. This is known as the Bailey Gate. It's actually the north gate of the town. Let's go and have a look at the castle. So here's an artist's impression of what the castle looked like in its heyday. And here's the castle now. We shall enter by the remains of the east gate at the other end of the bridge there. Here's the outer bailey, and there's the inner bailey where the keep was. We'll go up there and have a look at that, shall we? So there you have the remains of the keep, and in front of it those foundations were of the building that preceded it, which was apparently a farmhouse. So it was originally a fortified manor rather than a castle, and the keep was built later. Let's go right up to the top. That's the remains of the west gate. There's the village, and you can see the parish church over at the other end there. Looking down the castle to the River Nar at the bottom there, goods would have been brought along the river, no doubt, and brought up through that gate at the bottom. So this castle was built by William de Warenne, who was one of William the Conqueror's friends, and he was given this village or town, and he built the Cluniac Priory because he had a Cluniac Priory where he came from in Normandy. He also owned Lewes, the county town of East Sussex, and built another Cluniac Priory there. On our right here we have Drury Lane. It's so called because it's where the theatre was. Now here we are in Drury Lane, Nobody's quite sure where the theatre used to be. That building over there is clearly at least 17th century. Used to have a thatched roof, as you can see. On the other side is stables, or was, now a nice cottage. My favourite, my personal theory, is that this was the theatre. It may look like a very small shed, but Georgian theatres weren't very big, and I wonder if this was the ticket office with all these strange openings in it. Backed onto the Albert Victor pub, and such theatres often did exist in pub yards, and it was used by a touring repertory company, toured all over East Anglia, and had these little theatres scattered around in towns and villages. Also gives us a very good view from here of the other side of the Bailey Gate. It used to have nice little round tops to those towers, but in the 1920s somebody thought it would look more romantic without them and removed them. Never mind. So here we are on Stocks Green outside the Ostrich Inn. Stocks Green was originally the marketplace of the town, which was outside the town wall. It's now really the centre of the village. As you see, this cottage has a bricked up window in the gable end, and it is thought that this was the almoner's chapel of the priory, where the almoner would give out alms to the poor. And so that concludes our tour around Castle Acre.